Hey guys, I'm first of all, the webcam decided to totally crap up for me today, and it seems that I can't, and I accidentally clicked the cross on the Start Live, on the Quotecast application, so I don't have access to that, and I don't know how to add it back in. So hopefully I can do some of the stuff from the. So yeah, we are live. Now find out how to. Yeah, it seems if you want to get invited, ask me a question on the question and topic, as it doesn't seem I can invite. Oh yes, I can invite from chat, I think. So who wants to go? Come online. Come on. Timer. One viewer. Once. Right. I hope these invites work. It seems to be that kind of day. Everyone have issues. No webcam. Hey. There you are. Okay.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Gonna send another invite to Louis.
So how long is the delay?
I don't know. I'm guessing 3 to 5. 3 minutes. I haven't actually looked it up. Louise!
Hey.
Hey. So could you two guys do me a small favor and chat among yourself, and so I can find out how to get this Quotecast icon back into Hangout? I accidentally closed it.
How are you doing, Louis?
Fine, I'm great. I was working on the migration of the TypeScript Angular bits of stuff to Dart.
Cool.
Yesterday I was doing the tooltip, and it has a lot of problems.
So where are you now? What time is it for you?
It's 1 p.m. I'm it's in Florida, United States.
Yeah, so I guess this is the best time for everyone to or you know, where on earth is it? Is it nighttime now? Asia? I don't know. Because here it's evening in Europe. It's 7 p.m. here.
Okay.
I don't see a way to get the icon back in, but I can do everything from another window, so I can just split screen this sucker. So, and my webcam just died. Just 5 minutes before. That's typical. So, well, to you guys viewing, it seems to be 2 of you at the moment. So, welcome to Dart Live. This is just a show where we talk about all things Dart. So, if you want to join this chat, just tell me in the chat and I will invite you. So, and for you backloggers out there, this is the last online episode. And for you with HDD, I am sorry that episode 1 and 2 is not online. I'm sorry, people. So, right now we have with us Emil, the creator of the Bridge framework, and Lewis, that has been working on Dart serialization using the new reflection API. So, welcome. So, how is people?
It was cool. I've never been introduced like that for my accomplishments or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm actually I'm working on some really cool stuff. For Bridge, I've been doing some specific stuff for a while, and now I'm kind of gluing them together and sorting things out. So it's starting to come together. And today I was working on the new documentation site that will be on dart-bridge.io. So that's what I've been doing. How are you, Ole?
I'm actually great. I'm actually starting work on Tuesday.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, finally,
Hey.
after all these years of social services, I finally found a company that's willing to take me on for free.
Oh, so kind of an internship, or?
It's basically it's a tryout for work, more or less. It's like an in a social state as Norway, it's very, very hard to fire people. So companies are not very keen to, take risk on new employees. So this is kind of a way for companies to take on new people risk-free. In like, they can fire me at any time if they want. It's like a 7-day period before they have to let me go, and they don't pay salary. So it's very nice for people with that falls a bit outside the norm.
Well, you have to make a good impression then.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's very interesting work I will be doing. I will work as a consulting for a new startup area that is happening in my local area. It's like when the oil bust happened, everyone here is like, the oil is worthless, what should we do? Something else!
Yeah.
So
What kind of language are you gonna use in there?
Hmm?
What language are you gonna use in there?
Basically, I will be doing small jobs for the other startups. So I'm guessing a wide gamut of language. I'm hoping for some Dart. I will be pushing it, but not too hard. It's like gambling your startup on Dart just because one person says it's good. That's kind of high risk.
Especially if that person is, you know,
Yeah.
an intern for 7 days or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm an intern for 3 months, so until Christmas. So it's like, yeah, this person says he's gonna make it in Dart, and he's gone in 3 months, and we will maybe never see him again. So my guess, it will be a lot of JavaScript.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. So. So.
I accidentally almost wrote startup instead of hangout.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. This time I actually told the world ahead of time.
Yeah, you did. It was good.
So did not seem to. About the time, I don't know if this is a good time to have it. It's like it's available for more people, but it seems like most people have other things to do in a weekend. So.
But it is Saturday for everyone, right? It's not Sunday for you, Louis.
Like, well, it may be Sunday for some in the Pacific Rim. I don't know.
Pacific Rim.
It's like.
So yeah, if we have any like Japanese or something, they would have Sunday by now. Is that how it works?
Sure, suggest a topic. Hey, Kevin, want to join? Just say so in chat. Well, you will hear this in about 5 minutes, so I will need to. Oh, how can pub.lotlang? Let's just invite him.
There is another topic that says, what is the best option for building a hybrid mobile app with Erlang?
Yeah, so.
We have two.
It really is kind of anticlimactic when everyone hears this 5 minutes in the future.
Yes. Right now, the only way to create hybrid mobile applications is using Skype, no?
Yeah, or Flutter or whatever.
Using Flutter Skype, yes, a combination.
It seems like we have.
In fact, they are not going to be hybrid. They are going to be native application if you use Flutter and Skype. In the past, you can also do down Chrome applications. Yeah, Chrome application, but right now they're targeting native applications. Am I okay?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey. So we just started answering that first question about best option for building hybrid mobile application with Dart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and now it's highlighted. That's cool.
Yeah, and I think later it will generate some kind of indexing, so people can just click on their own question and get straight to it.
Oh, okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
Unless it will will it go to 5 minutes earlier because of the delay?
I think it will go to my time. Yes.
Okay. Oh well. Yeah. So we actually talked a little bit about Sky or Flutter last time as well, and I personally think it's really interesting just to if you're working on both the server and the client simultaneously on a project, if you can have like the same type of code that you're putting on the front end web code, you can have kind of the same thing but in Flutter code widgets or whatever. So you can like have the same server side logic and all that, and just project them onto either a website client or a native app. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, if people can make kind of both a website and a mobile app using the same code base.
Yeah.
That would be cool, I think.
Have anyone tried to use Dart with something like PhoneGap? I'm thinking about solutions for right now, not.
I have tried to one day, but without PhoneGap, directly by compiling to JS, and I have my own browser, because in Android you can have directly a browser widget, and basically I've linked or just say to the browser widget that my JS source code was in the other directory. So
Yeah.
I've tried once. Basically, it's not really that hard. It's basically the same thing as JS. The one annoying thing is that you have to compile your .dot code to JS, and then you have to compile your Android application. So it's kind of a nightmare, but you can improve that during the development process by just telling your browser to directly your browser widget to directly point to a localhost development. Basically, in your development app, you just have to say like my computer is the pub serve is in there, like I don't know my IP on the port, and it will directly retrieve the information, all the HTML and JS elements from there. So yeah, it's doable, but it's really annoying.
I tried out, Atom Electron from GitHub. You can
Atom, yeah.
Yeah, I checked Electron, the thing where you can create like native Mac apps and platform, what's it called, desktop apps, native desktop app with web technologies. Basically the same thing as PhoneGap, but for the desktops. And I ran into the exactly same problem because that Electron is based on IO.js, which by now I guess is Node.js also.
IO.js was a fork of Node.js,
yeah.
But now they are merged again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I tried that out, and it was super uncomfortable because you'd have to use Dart :JS to access the file system, because you'd have to use the context object or whatever to access the methods from IO.js. So it was super awkward, and you couldn't. You had to, just to see it working, you had to compile it. So not the same, Dartium experience with where you can just update.
I usually, when people ask me about mobile applications with Dart, I usually tell them that the best thing they can do is try to make a mobile website using Dart, because that's a much easier workflow, and then isolate the few things that you really need a hybrid application for, so you can do 90% of your development. Because even if I haven't done it myself, just mentally going through, I know the workflow is getting annoying fast.
It's perfectly true. The only no, it's not that true, but before on Android 2 or early 4, like 4.1, 2, and 3, the browser used inside your web your application was not the same that Chrome. It was not exactly the same engine behind. So the behavior on the Chrome, like your mobile website through Chrome, was not the same as the web view. So it was really a nightmare. So I had to create this awkward build process because it wasn't the same behavior. So I can't really. It was harder to predict the thing.
I remember.
No, it's the same, so it's easier now.
Yeah, I remember when the older Android phones had the old Android browser, and you had to install Chrome if you wanted to
Yeah.
use it. And I guess the web view was also based on that old browser for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Any last thoughts on this topic before we go to the next question?
Just to add, I don't know if you have made this point, but no, with Flutter, because I have known that this is the official name on Sky was the old
Yeah.
one. With Flutter, the development process have been really make simple or simpler, because basically they provide a purpserve-like that will automatically build your modification on the phone. It's basically a purpserve, but it will also engine all the widgets, all the graphical widgets, so you can have the same process development process as now with purpserve. So it makes the mobile app development really easy.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward for some fluffer as a present to Christmas.
Yeah, in a comment, Casper says that Angular 2 is going to be also a target for mobile applications because Angular 2 is going to work on top of Flutter. So
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
that's what they plan to do. They plan to change the implementation in they're gonna be able to change every implementation. If you want to work with mobile or if you want to work with web applications, you just need to change a configuration in the implementation. That's one of the target of Angular 2 also.
That sounds awesome.
So
Yes.
basically, you're gonna share the same code for web application in Angular 2 for native mobile applications also.
Yeah, they plan to do that. I've seen that on this too. And basically, I play actually with Angular 2 on the development process or the I don't know, the spirit behind Angular 2 is really close to Android application. What I mean by that is all the components in Angular 2 have life cycle, and the life cycle is really like one to one with the Android life cycle, Android application life cycle. So it will be if you know how to do application with Android, it will be easier to go to Angular 2, and the other one way around is possible too. So yeah, all the framework will work better with mobile.
That's cool. I have a question. Is Flutter available for iOS yet?
Actually, the work on if I remember well, during the presentation at the Dart Summit, they said that they work for iOS and they plan to deliver the Android and the iOS version in the same time, but it's harder on iOS because they have less control on the low level things. So I don't know exactly how they will do.
Because that would be even more awesome if you could kind of have your code both being built to an Android app and an iOS app and also a web app. That would be
they plan to do that. This is the whole objective of the Dart on mobile, but I don't know if they will be able to deliver that in the same time. I think we will have to wait a little bit more to see that coming.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm closing this question. So this is yours, Kevin.
Yeah. Because I have some reflection when I have to use NPM or other package manager, and I've seen that Pub really lack of functionality. Like I don't know.
Everything.
Yeah, they like everything. But what's the thing is, I have to ask the question because what the dot people want really, what the functionality do we need really, and what we can say to Settler. I don't know if it's exactly how we say that, but say his name, but or we can tell to him like, yeah, we need this functionality. This functionality can be awesome for us, or maybe even more if there are some dot developer there with some time that can, I don't know, directly make a pull request to the pub website. I don't know if it's really possible, or create like I don't know, a fork can be
Uh,
annoying, but
I have heard from the Dart team that if anyone actually wants to make a new pub that Dart Lang servers somewhere, the Dart team will be happily to declare someone else the new official version.
okay.
You just have to work with them because it's like basically one of the reasons that the Dart team hasn't improved that site is they hope the community would make something better so you can just push that off to someone else.
Okay. They don't want to manage that. They want the community manage that.
Yeah, basically, when it comes to the Dart team, when I spoke to them at the conference, basically they want to do the language, the virtual machine, and the compiler.
Okay.
The rest and
On
some
the
of the,
IDE, yeah, like analyzer tool, yeah, all the kind of thing.
yeah, it's the core tool set.
Okay.
They don't really want to make everything, and basically, I think if someone would offload the tools, I don't think they want pub to be everything that pub is today.
Yeah. Okay.
So
It can be done. It can be really awesome with a Polymer one that coming soon in Dart that redo the pub website with Polymer.
I think I thought about this, and you know, even other package managers as well, such as npm, they all, it's kind of weird because you have, you know, the project page on npm, but then you always kind of click through to the GitHub page, right? So what I feel like, I'd like Pub to have some stats, you know, but you know, I with the README and all that, I mean, it's good that it's there, but I usually just click through the GitHub.
Basically, the really functionality not I need, but I really want to see on Pub is the download ratio, like a star system, to see the supported package or the people that the package that the community like. On this kind of thing, this kind of information that I'm sure the package is maintained or there are a lot of community behind this package. I don't know. The thing is, I think I remember someone of the Dart team or someone of the community that said the bad thing with this technique is that the new really good package that will come will be less used than the really new, the old one that are with a lot of people behind it.
Yeah.
So maybe like a star system, but we could like a.
Yeah,
it's the same thing as a Play Store, like the newcomers or the new incomers that like, hey, see that.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting, you know, when people do like those kind of algorithms, like Reddit. You know, I actually don't use Reddit, but they have basically, I've heard, some system where they kind of cross-reference stars and also, you know, through how long it's been up and stuff like that. So they rate it based on multiple parameters, and I think that would be cool because at the same time, you know, packages shouldn't disappear just because they're old.
Yeah.
Like based on interaction or something.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the real question is, have we access to all this kind of information? And there are an API over that just after the list of the package. Is this statistic are available or not?
There is a lot more statistic available in the API version. I think you just need to add .json to any pub request, and then you get a more complete version. But what I wanted to say is, what I really want from pub is not a ranking system, because a ranking system will always go badly. What I really want is a quality indicator. Like, I want to know, is this package stable?
Yeah, but the thing is, normally you say that the package is stable with the number version, with the version, like the 1
yeah, but it's like, is this abandoned or something? But I had thought about, I have actually thought about making a new pub site at one point, and one of the metrics I would like to make would to crawl public GitHub repository and say how many packages depend on this. If this package breaks, how screwed are everyone else?
Okay. Oh yeah, it can be interesting. Like the see how many time it have been used by how many projects or something like that.
It's like
so basically you have to not parse, but use the pub API and the GitHub API to see the dependencies of the package?
Yeah,
And say
basically,
like, okay.
basically make to try to make a GitHub. You make a GitHub search for basic pubspec files.
Yeah.
Yeah, pubspec files, and then you parse them and try to make a tree into them and finding basically making a graph out of them and find how many packages would break if this package break.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it can be interesting, but
Because that I think
but
would
basically
be,
it's like a ranking system. You just hide the
yeah,
ranking.
but it's like, but the information I want is not what's the popular package, is which package can I actually use.
Yeah.
Because I feel in pub, when I need something on pub, I find a package that is way too new or way too old.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually I find both, but no one in the middle.
Yeah,
Like,
I
also-
perfectly understand.
I think the search is also, it's kind of lacking, because I find, I want some kind of functionality, and I basically search for that word, and it almost never works.
Yeah,
Unless
another
the package is
Yeah.
kind of like called what you're searching.
another cool thing, but the thing is, it have to be implemented inside the pubspec file. It's like a tagging system, like say, okay, like web server, on all the kind of tag, like custom tag or something like that, to make the search easier, like parsers or something like that. I think it can be interesting, or maybe use the description. I don't know.
yeah.
And I mean, that is something we could, someone could just do that. It's not like the pub spec file breaks if you add a key that pub doesn't know. So you could potentially just start adding tags now and assume some sort of convention. That's a bad idea, because it probably breaks sooner. But the Dart team doesn't really have to stand behind that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It does. I just forgot that, but yeah, it doesn't break if you add something. So yeah, you can completely do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting, but like if we need to start the project and define the objectives. But it can be really cool to make a really good looking easy to use pub, even for us. Even if I know basically how to use pubspec, like putting some keywords on looking on GitHub, I think it can be make the life easier for everyone.
Yeah, and I think, maybe some people will say it's weird to couple pub to GitHub, but I understand that, because you don't have to use GitHub to upload things to pub. And but I feel like the packages should you should have a base functionality with the statistics and all that, and then you could add in information if it was on GitHub as well or something.
The only thing that I can understand the people that say that we don't have to link them, it's because when you publish something, it doesn't necessarily have to be on GitHub.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is two separate repositories. So you have two different versions.
Yeah.
So even if you make a modification on GitHub, and some people complain about that because some people correct a bug, fix the bug on GitHub, but they forget to publish them on the pubspec on pub. So you just have to put the GitHub directly on your pubspec. So the link is not really done. So this is why maybe making the link in the statistic can be a wrong thing, because
but I feel like it could be kind of optional. You could add a string in your pubspec saying, I want to couple my GitHub.
I think just
something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the only fact that you have the home page with the GitHub link can be enough.
Yeah,
I have a vision for how I would like the package site for Dart to be. I want a curated list that tells you this is the web frameworks that you should use. This is your XML parser. This is it's like
okay.
Basically this is the best.
Like the basics Dart stack or something like that.
Yeah, basically it's like
it's like that Dart awesome.
Yeah, just a simple curated list that says, if you want something and really don't care about the details, this is the package you should use. decided
Yeah,
by
but the
someone.
thing is, if you start to doing that, you will force the people to go one way. So if people come up, I don't know.
That's
I will take a little example, but before a lot of people used Redstone. Okay, so basically, if I do the key, if you want a server app, okay, use Redstone, and then a really cool guy do Bridge, and then but all the people in the QA said you have to use Redstone, so no one know about Bridge, and no one
that's why it
ever will
needs to
use Bridge.
be. That's not why it needs to be actively curated.
Yeah, but the thing is, who will do that on based on which on I don't know which no uh, uh, which criteria?
Yeah, I think that would kind of, a good ranking system would do the same thing, I feel. You
Yeah.
could do it right.
I'm trying to pitch a social solution to a technical audience. Okay, moving on.
And so I linked in the chat. I guess everyone has already seen it, but unless you haven't, that is already a curated page for some of the biggest the frameworks and stuff. And I don't know how often it gets updated. It says on GitHub a month ago the README got updated, so I guess. But it has a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah, but basically, I want the best package system should work like an app store with the basic
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
features.
Mhm.
With here is what's hot, this is what's popular, and this is what's new and exciting, and this is
Yeah.
the rest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah, it's perfectly true. Yeah.
yeah.
So and the editors and the curated would be something like editor choice, community picks, or something like that.
But like with a section like the newcomers or the new incomers, I don't know exactly how to say that, but the new thing that can be interesting for you or something like that. The
Yeah.
new server, HTTP server, and the new like the thing
Yeah.
maybe you can look that
Yeah.
can be interesting.
So yeah, we could have a section called up and coming.
Yeah, that's cool. I love those pages where they are like, these are things that are not super new or something and exciting. I always love to visit those pages, and it's kind of like Steam Greenlight, if you know.
Yeah. So
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
so it would just basically take the Google App Store and put our package in there, it would be golden. Of course, it's a lot more work than that, but
Yeah, but the first thing, yeah, but I definitely think it's a good idea even for the community to like try to bring on the same objective the community and something like that. Can be interesting. But yeah, I definitely if we can improve pub as a community, I think we can do to be a step inside the Dart community because we don't have like a project, a community project like Django for Python or Ruby on Rails for Ruby that are leading the community inside the same project. And really, the community really take part of the language development. I don't know if I'm clear about that.
But I feel like Dart is pretty good at that as well. I mean, it's really transparent. You can see what they're working on. And
it's really not about the Dart team. I think the Dart team do a really good job. It's about us. It's about we don't do the things that are necessary or we have to do to make our language or our hobbies or our believing show.
Yeah.
Or I think this is more in the overall. We need to ask to us the question: we see our language, the language we love or we use, how to go to the next step.
This is actually this is kind of a good segue into the next question.
Yeah.
So I will switch questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Because can I just start out saying something here?
Yeah.
I see, especially in the community on Google Plus, this huge, frustration that Dart isn't more popular, and I feel that as well. But at the same time, this language has been around since 2011, and people got their hopes up in terms of how popular it would be because it got like press back then. And I still feel like they should have maybe done a few things differently.
Yeah, I've done some mistake.
For like advertising or whatever, for marketing it. But I feel like some of these languages that are popular now, it took
Decades.
it took a few years before they became large. So there's no rush. And as long as Google doesn't suddenly stop supporting Dart or whatever, and I don't think that will happen.
Yeah. Tesla said repeatedly that the Google use it too much in intern to drop the supports.
Yeah.
So it won't happen in the 5 years. So we are it's okay for us on that. Do you want to continue or?
No, keep going. Sorry.
Okay. I've just one observation on one thing is that a lot of people want. I wasn't one of them. I'm still there, but of people that want to the language become popular, basically to avoid some I don't know not trash talks, but basically that's from other developers that they already dead language, they only all this kind of thing.
And also, I feel like the two biggest languages that Dart directly competes with is JavaScript and Java. There are a bunch of more languages, but those are kind of obvious because it's
every language competes with JavaScript online. Every language compete with JavaScript and Java. So.
That's true.
And also C#.
But I feel like those two languages in particular is really, they have a long history of packages and libraries and stuff. So what people kind of come back to is that, well, how do I use jQuery in Dart? And how do I... So, I mean, if you want to use jQuery in JavaScript. Don't try to use it from Dart. And I get that, and I think that should be the case, but that doesn't mean your language is better. I don't
know. By the way, there are a library called jQuery that is called Dart.
But the Dart HTML include a lot of the
exactly.
The basic library include a lot of functionality from jQuery. But personally, I think that to link to the thing I said just before is that the community should take care more of the language too, because the Dart team I'm perfectly agree that have made there have been some issue mostly in the strategy I think of the language, like say directly it will be implemented in Chrome maybe have been a bad idea before knowing maybe the technical detail or something like that. Have been too early, too in a rush. So basically, they have made a few mistakes, but what they prepare, like all the mobile thing, can be really awesome. But the thing is that the community don't really produce that much. That the resources that can be used, as you say, like when the people want to use Dart and say, okay, what is the equivalent of jQuery? It's really hard to find resources on the net right now. There are people that reading like the Dart tutorial. Or, I don't remember the website, but there are something that are created right now. But we need to be much more productive if we really want increasing the popularity, because the community, us basically, will create the popularity of the language, and not Google. I think personally.
Yeah, at this point, but I feel like I still, it's easy to know these things in retrospect, but I still feel like the internal Google team has a bunch of developers and not very many producers. I feel like it could be, it had a really good chance of doing some amazing PR in the beginning, 2011. And they kind of, messed it up. So it's, I agree that it's up to us to kind of do something about it now, but still, I work daily with advertising, and I feel like it didn't do it very well. I'm sorry.
Dart only lacks one thing: a killer demo that's like something special. It's like where Dart is right now is where Ruby was before Rails.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
that's a
like
good comparison.
we have good tech, we have good ideas, we have nothing to show. So
Mm.
what,
Yeah.
like if we could have something with Angular 2 working on all three platform with a bridge backend coding in 30 minutes, getting a to-do app up there on
Mhm.
all platforms, then Dart will be popular and people will go, wow, where did this language come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the
The
headlines.
thing is the worst part is that it's really easy to do it because I have a lot of Angular 2 codes for my company, so yeah, it can be really easy to do. This is the worst part. Maybe there are a lot of people that are codes on make really good code on Dart, but that keep it from that for themselves. Okay,
Mm.
it was hard. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I perfectly agree with that. We need more like killer thing. 30 minutes. Yeah, okay. I will do a server, or a web app, or a mobile phone, mobile app. Okay, no worries. Yeah, it can be really cool.
I
Mm.
don't
Yeah,
know.
but yeah, it's
I don't know
yeah,
why Google. It looks like it feels like it's afraid of doing what other companies have been doing for a long time. For example, Microsoft with C Sharp. C Sharp only works on Microsoft for a long, long time until mono
yeah,
developed appears. And after that, you see Objective-C only works on iOS only,
Mhm.
and then Swift
yeah,
only works on iOS also. So Google
yeah.
is afraid of
They,
doing that.
they,
I think they don't want to do a language that only works on their stuff on their own stuff on their own products. They want a language that works on everything, and that's gonna be more difficult.
yeah,
Also, Swift has increased its popularity because it's simple. If you want to produce something for iOS, you need to code in Swift basically.
yeah.
But right now, for Google, if you want to do something for a Chromebook, you need to do JavaScript. If you want to do something for Android, you need to use Java
Yeah.
or another language. And some part of Google is working on Python, other part of Google is working on
C++.
Java, or other people is working on GWT
Yeah.
with.
Mm.
So Google has a lot of competence internally, and it's a lot afraid of what is he doing.
Yeah, the thing is, it's really linked to how they manage their internal developments. I've read something on Quora on all the kind of thing. Basically, they are independent team. This is why we have a lot of projects that can be look as similar as Polymer on Angular, on Angular. So there have been a lot of ambiguity still right now about the how we use Angular and how we use Polymer on when use Polymer on when
Yes.
use Angular because there are a lot of independent team. So I don't know. I would just say that, but maybe Polymer have been developed in the US, but Angular in the Europe, and because they are not really talk to each other, because they have been developed Angular for a specific task and Polymer for another task. So they've just released the tools at the same time. I think this is maybe a part of the how they manage the project. I don't know if it's really true, but maybe it's that.
Yeah, and that's another problem.
Mm.
Now you have Angular and you have Polymer. Which one should I choose?
Yeah,
And with what's the name? The other hit that received there in the past was that Angular team choose TypeScript over that. So
yeah,
now
Mhm.
Angular team is working on TypeScript, JavaScript, and that. So they are working on three languages instead of working on just one.
yeah. They write Angular in TypeScript, and because TypeScript directly transpired to JavaScript, it's easy. But they have done a compa.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. It's easier. Okay, it's easier.
I was
The
just smiling Angular Bootstrap, Angular 2 Bootstrap to that, and it was a complete headache because most of the library that works only on JavaScript don't work on that.
yeah,
So if they would do
yeah.
it in that from the beginning, it would be more easy.
Yeah, because they have done a compiler to compile a transpile the TypeScript to Dart, but they make really quick release on the JavaScript side, but they do like only for the 2 or 3 weeks for Dart. So we are always a little bit late on the release on Dart. This is a not really cool thing, but
And you know, people from the outside, if we're talking about how do we get more people interested, I feel like maybe most people look at, you know, what are the signs? Where can I see? How can I determine Dart's popularity? And it doesn't look good that we have, you know, that you're saying the 3-week lag in terms of release cycles and stuff like that, and especially the thing with TypeScript over Dart with Angular. Stuff like that, you know, people assume then that Dart is dead and all that stuff, and you know, you can't really blame them because it does look bad.
yeah, for the outside world, I've talking about a little bit about that in the previous week. But the thing is, we know because we are inside the Google Plus community, we know what will be the next step. But now we are in the I don't know how to say that, but between two big things.
Are you referring to the trough of disillusionment?
What was I going to say? Sorry, I lost it. Keep going.
So, I actually think Dart is fine. We are just impatient. I will think in a few years Dart will become an overnight sensation.
Either that, or you know, it could also be like a slow and steady uprising, whatever.
Yeah, no, the world doesn't really work that way. Even if we have, it will look like a slow and steady uprising from the inside, but from the outside, it will be an overnight sensation. Because people out there don't know when we talk to people outside, Dart is either what is it, or is it that dead thing Google tried?
Yeah, and you know, I'm not you know afraid that Dart will go away for the simple reason that everyone who tries it think it's great. You know, I just recently showed a few JavaScript developers who were like, yeah, I don't wanna push things to production that I haven't written myself, and you know, I don't want to transpile my JavaScript or yada yada. And I showed them the async await. They were like, oh my Jesus Christ! And they I don't know if they you know immediately started using Dart, but there are features like that are just so superior.
Yeah. I've just this afternoon I've talked with someone really a JavaScript developer. They say, oh yeah, I just wait the ES7 with the async await. It will be so awesome. Do you know that? I say, yeah, I have that in Dart for like 3 or 4 months right now. Yeah, it's awesome. I use it every day. It was like, oh my god.
And you know, especially I think the most distinct competitor that I feel like Dart should destroy, but doesn't, is Node. You know, I can understand that people like the dynamic qualities of JavaScript in the browser. I you know, I get that. But Node on the server compared to Dart, you know, it's so
painful.
I read and I read this article. We're talking about, you know, the real strengths of using Node is that you really have amazing control over your async. You know, it has streams, it has promises, and it uses them great and whatever. Not even promises; it does callbacks still, I guess, for the most part, at least. And you know, I think it's just crazy that people haven't noticed Dart in comparison to Node. And I think what Faisal Abid is doing, or Abid, whatever, he's doing some great stuff, I think. Showing, you know, Dart versus Node.
Yeah, but the thing is that a lot of people, when I talk with people and say, yeah, but no, you can, yeah, on the browser, the JavaScript is better on something like that. Okay, okay, if you want. But the thing is, oh yeah, but the server side, you can use dots. It will be basically the same way of thinking of Node you use every day. I say, yeah, but I want to use JavaScript on a server on the client side. So what can you say to people like that? They don't want to use Dart on the client side for maybe good reason, because it's yeah, there are libraries and all the kind of stuff that exist, like graphics on the client side with Dart libraries. But so I can understand that. But the thing is, when they start to use JavaScript on the client side, why change the language? Why? The thing is.
So I want to. Now there's 5 minutes left, so I want to run down the show.
Okay.
So we are. Well, we haven't really answered. We are just giving opinions on the last question.
Mm.
So
If I can get just a quick answer, I think the O improve is like more tutorial, as said, let's say more tutorial, more showcase, on maybe improve the actual tools as pub.
yeah.
And less use of other languages.
So the last topic is when to do the next show, and me and Emil has already decided the topic for the next one.
Okay.
So I want Emil to give just a
Oh my God, it's kind of
little
a
presentation on what he wants to do next time.
reveal or announcement or whatever. No,
Yeah.
I've talked about for a long time that I wanted to do something specifically for Bridge and show it and stuff. And I have, I for a couple of days ago and going forward, I've been making some sort of presentation thing and prepared a demo. So I thought next time I could show you some things. And specifically, I'm going to use the dev branch, because there are lots of new features that I don't want to push yet because they're very breaking. So I need to document all that stuff before I'm gonna push changes. So yeah, but it's exciting.
Yeah. So what do people feel works best? Having in the weekend, or trying to have it sometime in the week? Now that I start work, that means, well, basically how I work, I can do it whenever.
I prefer the weekend. I prefer the weekend just because
I think one like thing that can be the late Friday, like just after work and Friday, so you can keep your weekend, but just after
But then
the
again,
week.
if we do it on Friday, we Europeans will have evening, and then the Americans will be at work. So
Yeah.
I think this is the best time.
Yeah, maybe we can do like something more American inclined or something like more American friendly. Because I don't know which hour is from them.
Well, just as long as I don't have to go up like 3 a.m.
Yeah, that will kind of be my job.
Yeah, and I don't want anybody to do that.
Yeah, it's like the problem is that the afternoon for America is when we in Europeans sleeps.
Yeah. But maybe the morning of America.
Yeah, all the when you're watching.
The problem is that there is no morning for America because they have so many time zones that it's like morning is about 2 hours. So there is no time you can make where
take the Silicon Valley hours, because if it is morning for LA, it would be okay for the others.
Yeah, it would be so awesome to have a few Dart team people join in, so people ask questions and stuff. That would be cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So Well, I think we should do a poll on the Google Plus
Yeah.
page
Yeah.
when a good time is.
Just one thing. Next week I'm gonna move. You know.
Yeah.
What's it called? Move.
Yeah. Yeah. Move.
Yeah.
From you know from here to here. No. Yeah. So I can do it next weekend. If
Yeah.
we're gonna do the
I
bridge
was
thing.
thinking in 2 weeks time.
Yeah, that's cool for me.
So should we just say in basically 2 weeks from today, the same time, and then in the meantime, I will do a queue, try to get information on a good time for the show after that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we are. So then I will just thank everyone that was watching. Thanks
Yeah.
to the people that was here, and we will end the broadcast in right the hell about now.